In about 16 hours, we will go even further beyond. But should you summon? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku and the INT Majin Buu this year's Golden Week units, and determining whether or not we should summon on these Golden Week banners. As always, in order to figure that out, we will be looking at three major factors. Number one, the units themselves. Are the units good enough to justify a summon on their banner? What are you gaining? What are you losing if you do so? We'll also take a look at the banners themselves. Is there value to be had on these banners, right? And then finally, we will look at what lies ahead. Should we choose to summon on their banner? What might we be giving up in the near future? So let's go ahead. Let's start with rule number one, the unit. We're going to take a look at the Majin Buu here first. So with Majin Buu, he is INT types, and he is the Majin Buu Saga leader, sworn enemies, and storied figures. He also gives 30% to Worldwide Chaos and Resurrected Warriors for a 200% lead. His passive is actually kind of crazy. He gets an entrance animation that recovers that begins to recover 10% HP at the start of his attacking turn for the rest of battle. He recovers an additional 10% HP for 5 turns from his entry turn. So basically, every turn that you have him on, he's gaining 20% HP flat at the beginning of each turn. He'll also get Key 2 and attack and defense 150%. He has an additional attack and defense 150% when performing a super attack, and launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack. He guards all attacks when 50% or more HP. He recovers 10% HP at the end of the turn, if 30% or less. At the end, and recovers an additional 10%. So basically, right, if you end up taking a major hit during the turn after you've recovered in the beginning, you'll still recover up to another 20% at the end. So it's a lot of healing going on. He also revives with HP fully recovered when a character is KO'd. He also has the ability to survive KO attacks once within a turn, and has an additional 100% attack and defense, guards all attacks, and launches an additional super attack starting from the turn in which he or an ally's revival skill is activated. So he has a revive that he has to activate. However, right, if any other character in the turn activates their revival, he will still get his buff for reviving, right? So he's not specific to revival. So he's a lot like World Tournament Goku. In fact, that's what I would really liken him to more than anyone else, is a World Tournament Goku, right? He's that dude on crack. I mean, he's just absolutely insane. When you see the numbers this guy can put up, he's actually kind of crazy. He's a unit that villain teams really, really needed. But that's not all. He still has an active skill, which will massively raise his attack for the turn, cause ultimate damage, and delay the enemy's attack for 1 turn. So what does that mean? He has a built-in Ghost Usher, as well as he changes all key spheres to cookies for the turn. So not only does he have a built-in Ghost Usher, he's got a free heal that comes with it. So very, very helpful. Honestly, yeah, he's really good. On top of all that, he is stacking defense, so very, very good character. Now let's compare that to the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We have a Majin Buu Saga Otherworld Warriors Accelerated Battle, category Key 3, HP attack and defense 170%, with an additional 30% to Kamehameha and time limit for the 200%. Like the Buu, he has an entrance animation that gives him something a little different. He gets a chance of performing a critical hit 50% for 5 turns from his entry turn, and reduces damage received by 90% upon the character's entry turn, and with each turn passed, he loses 15% of that damage reduction, no more than the base 90%. Now, when there is another Majin Buu Saga ally on the team. So you need a Majin Buu Saga to activate the entrance to get the 90% to begin with. Now, he also gets Key 2, attack defense 150%. He gets an additional 150% when performing a super attack. He reduces damage received by 5% with each super attack performed, up to 30%. He has a medium chance of performing a critical hit. He launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack. And when there's another Majin Buu Saga ally attacking in the same turn, he has an additional defense 100% and guards all attacks as the first attacker in a turn. He also has an additional attack 100% and launches an additional super attack that is as the second or third attacker in the turn. He has a high chance of nullifying Ki Blast supers directed at the character and countering with tremendous power. He has an active skill that will massively raise his attack temporarily, causing ultimate damage, and all attacks will become critical hits. Unlike the Buu, he's not stacking, but he does greatly raise for the turn. So with additional supers, that means his damage output on a turn can be quite good. So in totality, looking at both of these units, I would argue that both units are really, really good. They would be worth your summon, especially knowing where the 9th anniversary meta is headed on JP. I would say that they are worth your summon in that regard, especially Buu, right? Buu having the ability to have guard, raising defense infinitely, launching guaranteed additional supers, all the healing that's going on. I mean, I would say that he is the most valuable of the two if you were to prioritize one. But the point is, both of them are quite good. So if you were to choose to summon on either, it would not be a loss in stones, in my opinion. So both of the characters, based on what they're doing, get the thumbs up for summon for the character, right? If you like the character, they are good, they are going to pass the test. So they're good in that regard. But of course, these units are not alone. They don't exist in a vacuum. They are on a banner, and we have to take a look at that banner, because just because they are good doesn't mean that banner is worth your investment. So let's start with the Goku banner. So a little bit expected for what we expected to see with the Goku banner, right? We have Ultimate Gohan, World Tournament Goku, and surprise, surprise, the return of Super Trunks, as we predicted in our video. So we can pretty much assume who the rest of these characters are going to be based on previous runs, right? There's going to be 2 more characters. Probably, if I had to assume, knowing who is on knowing who's on Buu's banner here, right here, Super Saiyan 2 / Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I think we could safely assume that Kid Buu is one of the units on the banner, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the other Gotenks, INT Gotenks, or Fat Buu is on this banner. INT Gotenks just received his EZA on Global and JP. There's a chance that Tech Fat Buu into Super Buu could get his EZA. If so, he might just be on one of these banners. So I could definitely see them doing that. Now, either way, I mean, this is a pretty stacked banner. If you're missing Ultimate Gohan, if you're missing 23rd World Tournament Goku, if you're missing Super Trunks, right, all good options to pick up. Especially this guy. He's a great link partner for the 9th anniversary Beast Gohan. 23rd World Tournament can struggle a bit in the early fights of some of the 9th anniversary content, but when he gets fully built up, he can still do all right. He will struggle a bit, but it's not going to be that bad. Super Trunks, obviously, with his Ghost Structure effect, has tremendous value moving forward. He can obviously have his issues with the guard the first couple of turns, but his teams with Super Vegeta and Super Saiyan Vegeta now definitely have a lot of options to work with. So looking at Goku's banner, not a bad banner. Looking at Buu's banner, I'm a bit more worried about Buu's banner, being that so on JP, this was Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and this was Hirudegarn. So obviously we knew we weren't going to get those since we just had them on Global, but what worries me when looking at Buu's banner is Goku being here and no one else featured. This does have me worried about who one of the other 2 featured units are here. Because if they're not willing to put a newer unit on here, that must mean one of the other units is probably a rather old unit. So unfortunately, looking at the banners, they're as good as some of these characters are. Orange Piccolo, great asset on Beast Gohan and Gogeta's team in the 9th anniversary. Majunior is still Majunior, still clocking 3 million defense, right? He's great on a lot of these villain teams. The Buu and the Buu himself, obviously tremendous, and whoever else, like if they put the Tech Fat Buu who could get an easy A, chances are he's going to be pretty good. So, I mean, the banners are okay. I wouldn't put them as anything stellar. Oh, where'd the banner go? Did we click off of it? Yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah, so I wouldn't I wouldn't call it anything stellar, but it's that they aren't bad. Now, it is worthy of noting that these banners will in fact have 350 hour 3+1 multis on Global, and I'm assuming JP too. So every 150 stones, you will get 1 free multi. So even knowing that though, I would have to say that, you know, the banners are probably a no summon. Goku and Buu are great. They're phenomenal even. But the banners just don't hold a lot of value because everyone on this banner, including Buu and Goku themselves, are going to show up in just about 3 months on the worldwide celebration banners. Maybe not the World Tournament Goku, but definitely Hirudegarn, definitely Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and the new Buu and the new Goku. So when looking at the banners, I have to say it's a no summon there. So we've got 1 in the category of summon for each of the units based on their kits. However, we have no in the category of summon for the banners. Everything else that's on it, there just isn't that much value knowing what lies ahead. Speaking of, the last factor for our determination on whether or not we should summon is looking at what's up. If we go in on this banner, what are we giving up in the near future? Well, first and foremost, the first thing we're going to be giving up is the very next banner that will come to Global, and that is the AGL First Form Frieza banner. This was the post-anniversary banner on JP. No surprises. This always comes in June. And, I mean, it's okay. Frieza is okay. He's still in that weird spot where he just doesn't have a team that, like he himself is great, but he's missing a big team that can make him function well. Of course, Gohan and Piccolo, always useful for what they can do with the free revive for the Bond of Master and Disciple team. So, I mean, you probably wouldn't be summoning on this banner anyways, knowing that it's the banner right before anniversary, but know that it is the next banner that is coming up. So if you were somebody who was maybe waiting on the return of Gohan and Piccolo, or maybe First Form Frieza is your thing, you definitely don't want to be skipping out on that. Now, I do want to note there is a possibility we could be seeing this guy come in conjunction with the Frieza, or possibly after in August, but I did want to know that a lot of his celebration has already been moved into the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Hirudegarn celebration, like his main Easy A, so there's a possibility he could just get moved entirely to join up with Frieza, in which case I'm not sure how they'll handle it, but just know if you were somebody who was waiting on Topo, for example, he is someone you should consider moving forward. He is in a much better place than Frieza is in terms of teams and viability in post 9th anniversary content. Speaking of 9th anniversary, just before the 9th anniversary, we are going to have one last banner, and this is the INT Ginyu Force banner. This is a legendary summon banner, and like all legendary summon banners now, this will have the pity coin system, meaning every 3 multis you get a guaranteed featured. On top of that, every couple of multis you will get coins, and those coins can be traded when you reach a certain amount for a guaranteed copy of Ginyu. So, I mean, honestly, knowing how difficult it is to get some of these, I'm not saying you should summon, but if you had to make a choice between Frieza, Toppo, and Ginyu, because this guy's a legendary coin unit, he would probably be a better priority than those others, but he is very restricted to special pose. So, but this is the last banner right before the banners that we all care about, right? The banners you should really be saving for, and that is the 9th anniversary banners, right? 9th anniversary part 1 is going to bring Gogeta and Broly, and of course, you know, you want to be saving for those big banners, right? Every stone you save should be putting towards, right? Gogeta should be putting towards Beast, the Gammas, Broly, whichever one you are after. Those banners contain a lot of returning units, including units like Bulma, Future Gohan on the Part 2 banners, Kai Goku on the Part 1 banners, right? On the Carnival side of things, right, we have the return of Trunks, the INT Gohan, UI Goku, and Broly Trio, who are getting their Easy A during that celebration. So very, I mean, there's a lot of value to be had. Add on to that Beast Gohan and Broly are arguably the 2 best units in the game, on top of their banners being pretty stacked, especially Beast, right? I would say if you were to prioritize any anniversary banner, it's probably Beast, because Beast banner has Beast himself, it has UI Goku, Evo, Vegeta, who are getting an Easy A, and they are easily the top LR Easy A's in the game, as well as the return of Vegito and a few other units. So most of what you're saving should probably be geared towards this banner here. If not his, then Broly or whichever of the 9th anniversary units you're really after. That's where you should be putting your stones towards. So any stones spent prior to that, you know, is a loss in that regard, right? Any multi you do, that's one less multi you can do here. And remember, when we counted up all the stones from January to anniversary, if you'd been saving, you should have near 1,500 stones, not including anything you already had saved up at the point in which we started saving back in January. So it's worthy of note that you don't want to dip into that, because you want to be putting everything towards here. So knowing that, knowing what lies ahead, I still have to say, it's a no-go, and I don't like making that decision lightly, but we're in a weird situation right now as Global awaits the sync and awaits the 9th anniversary. I'd be more willing to tier my recommendation if we knew what was happening after the anniversary, but with the sync on the horizon, Global has no idea what to expect. So as players, especially if you're a free-to-play player, have to be a little more conservative and a little more conscientious of how you spend those stones. So you don't want to be spending on banners like these, as good as they might be for him here. As good as they might be, you don't want to be spending banners knowing that they could return in such a quick amount of time. So in complete honesty, all right, we have no for the banners. The banners just have too many returning units that will be returning shortly in just about 2 to 3 months. We have no in the category of summon for what lies ahead. You shouldn't be giving up the anniversary in order to be summoning on these guys. But we do have a one in the category for the units. So what I'll say is this: if you are pay to play, low to play, there are tickets available and there are 3+1s. Maybe just go do, no more than 300 for a rotation or two. See what you get. 250 is usually a good check. If you don't get anything within that, it's probably a sign to stop. So since it is 150 for the discounts, I would say 300 and then just stop there. If you're going to do the tickets, do your tickets and then call it after that and your discounts. If you are anything below 1,000 stones at this point, I do not recommend summoning on this banner. Save your stones for the 9th anniversary, simply because it is just far too important, and the units that are here on this banner will return way too soon. So guys, that is it for my video. That is my recommendation. It's not a recommendation I make lightly. Y'all know I don't like to say don't summon, because I always want to tell you, if you dig the unit, if Super Saiyan 3 is your thing, if Fat Buu is your thing, then by all means, I want you to enjoy this unit. But I also want you to enjoy units in the future, like the 9th anniversary unit. So knowing that these are coming soon, I do recommend that for now, you just hold off. So guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, will you summon for Goku, or are you saving for the 9th anniversary? If so, who are you saving for? And hey, maybe it's not the 9th anniversary. Maybe there's someone beyond that you're after. Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.